Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samiksha and today I am going to talk about the TELC exam. So in my previous video, I have spoken about the TELC exam and how it is different from the GYOTHE exam. In this video, I am going to dive into deeper details on what the TELC B1 exam looks like section by section. Now, most likely if you are applying for a permanent residency, a citizenship, or you want to apply for universities in Germany, then you might be targeting the B1 or B2 exam. If you are targeting another level, maybe an A2 or a C2 level, then also you can listen to this particular video. It will give you an idea of how the TELC exam looks like, and we will go through one by one about different sections of the TELC exams, and therefore let's get started. Let's start with what is the TELC B1 exam. Now, TELC Deutsch B1 is an internationally recognized language exam that confirms that you have the ability to use the German language independently in everyday situations. Okay, and it aligns with the B1 level of the CEFR. So CEFR is the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. So the TELC exam that's why internationally recognized, because it follows the CEFR framework. And if you give this particular exam, then anywhere where you have to say that you are proficient in the German language in so level, you can appear for this particular exam. It is similar to the IELTS. If you've given the IELTS test for English proficiency, then the structure of the exam for TELC is similar. The exam has two main parts. So the first part is the written exam. Okay, in the written exam, they test your reading skills, your listening skills, and also your grammar skills. What is the foundation of your language, and your writing skills as well. The second part is the oral exam, wherein you are tested on how well you speak and interact in German, and most likely in everyday situations. I'll give you a few examples of what kind of scenarios are tested in an oral exam. But first, let's start with the first part of the exam, which is the written exam. Now, the written exam is usually has a duration for, I'm talking about the B1, okay? It can slightly be different for an A1 exam and for a B2 exam. So let's focus on B1 today. The written exam is for 2 hours, 30 minutes. And the written part again has 3 sections. So the first section is the reading comprehension. Reading part is about 1.5 hours, and there are reading comprehensions. You read text and you answer multiple choice questions. So you have a paragraph and you answer multiple choice questions. And the second kind of question is wherein you have advertisements and you have titles to these advertisements, and you have to match the following. Match the right advertisement to the right title. Then you have they check your grammar. So there are some letters. There will be 2 questions on Sprachbaustein, wherein you have a letter and there are fill in the blanks and you have to choose the right answer. So you're grammatically tested. In the hearing section, this takes place for 30 minutes, where you hear radio, you hear announcements, you hear dialogues, and you have to mark true or false. And there are 3 such questions. And then you have the written part, where you have to write a letter. And mostly in a B1 TELC exam, the letter is either semi-formal or it is informal. Lately, what I have learned is that informal letters are most likely asked. Oral exam takes place for 15 minutes and you get 20 minutes of preparation time. So the oral exam is taken in pairs. Okay, if you don't have a pair, for example, the center did not have enough people, right, and you didn't get a pair, then it can also be taken alone, and here the pair is the examiner. There are 3 parts in this. The first is where you introduce yourself. Now, it does not have to be a monologue where you introduce yourself like you do in an A1 usually. You talk to your partner and you ask him questions, and he asks you, and you answer those questions. So it has to be a dialogue with your partner. The second is where you are given a text and you have to talk about what was written in the text and what is your opinion about it. And in the third question, you have to discuss with your partner. You have to organize a picnic. It could be, you all are going somewhere and you have to organize it together. So you both have to talk and organize the whole, wherever you're going. So you have to do a sort of a dialogue here. So everything, all this happens in 15 minutes, okay? The TELC exam, the total points are 300 marks. The reading is 225, where minimum points needed are 135. The oral exam is 75 points, and the minimum needed points in the oral exam is 45 points. To pass the exam, you must meet the minimum score of the speaking exam and the minimum score of the written exam. So it's not like you pass the written but don't pass the speaking, but you pass the whole. It doesn't work like that. You have to pass both minimum scores in both parts to overall pass the exam. What happens if you pass one part but fail the other? Good news is that you can retake only the failed section, and you can do this within 1 year. So for example, you did the speaking part very well, but you failed the written part, then you can retake the written exam again. And you have to do this in a period of 1 year from when you appeared for the exam, right? Now, your TELC exam results are usually available within 4 to 6 weeks. Of course, this can depend from center to center, but the general average is 4 to 6 weeks. The B1 certificate has no expiration date. So in general, any TELC certificate has no expiry date, unlike the IELTS exam, which has an expiry date of 2 years, right? And that's for English, right? But for a TELC, if you're giving the German exam, it's accepted by immigration authorities, by various universities and institutions. So you don't have to worry about, so it's internationally recognized, which is great. And the best thing about it is that it does not have an expiration date. So you give it today and it's, valid for lifelong. Also good for job applications if you want to show that you're proficient in the B1 level of German. So there are lots of practice tests available on the TELC website itself to practice mock exams. But you can also enroll in a B1 Vorbereitungs course where they prepare you specifically with strategies on how to approach the exam. You can practice speaking with a partner. You can practice writing letters. There are so many YouTube channels that help you to practice listening exercises. So you should take advantage of that. I will surely soon post about my experience with the TELC B1 German exam. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel. For more practical guides on learning German and studying in Germany, I will keep making such videos so as to help you and keep working on your German while I continue to work on my German, because my level is also somewhere about B1, B2. I have been in Germany for approximately 4.5 years now, but even today I keep working on my German, reading newspapers or listening to the radio so as to improve my own German skills. This is really important if you want to live in Germany and you want to have a relaxed everyday lifestyle. It's really important that you work on your language skills. And watch TV shows. There are certain documentaries that I've mentioned before which you should definitely consider watching. So I recommend 2 documentaries. One, Mein Weg nach Deutschland, and the second one is, remember it now, Nico's Weg. I think it was called Nico's Weg. But I think I'll put it on the screen for you to have a look. These 2 series, I would call it, they are so helpful. They are posted by the Goethe Institute, and also so nice, if you're a beginner and you want to learn some simple phrases before coming to Germany, then these 2 channels are really helpful to follow what's going on, and also a little bit interesting. So I wish you all the best if you are planning to give the TELC exam or any other German language exam. If you need tips or want to ask me any questions related to these topics, then Write them down in the comments. You can write me an email, or you can directly book a call with me via Topmate. All links, email IDs, everything in the description. So do have a look there. I wish you all the best. Viel Erfolg. Bye and take care.